So the bulk of the issue actually the building block of how to defend against all this threat is actually by the word called ecosystem. So this ecosystem means that the producer themselves has to come together as an ecosystem, not just one single thing. So to illustrate this, I would use Alibaba. Also, if you look at Alibaba's ecosystem is so huge that even if you take away one part of it, it doesn't actually shake the company. It doesn't shake the platform because the platform is so well developed in the different aspect of its ecosystem. So you can actually defend yourself by having such a good ecosystem. So even if you want to compete, you don't know where to point to the weakness of the web platform. The platform is all covered with all the whatever weakness that is seen, and they develop their own localized or their own way of withstanding this resistance or withstanding this threat from outside. So I put it as these three issues into more description of how it could happen. Weak network effect. If you put in case of an agency, estate agency, that means the negotiators infighting or sabotaging each other. So they do not want to join the platform because they don't want to put their listing in the same platform for others to take advantage of. So this is one aspect that you can see in the real life for agency on website. Agency on website usually face this type of issue because the negotiators do not want their colleagues to know their sources of their stock, because the colleagues may actually go through that same source to obtain the commission or appointment. So this is a threat to the growth of that particular network. So this network is weak. Clustering network is actually seen as in if you have a cluster of location, especially duplicated or replicated by other platform, then it doesn't actually serve the purpose. So Findway is supposed to do mapping. So of course you have Google already doing the mapping. So this is a potential threat to Findway for the fact that customers, they know that, well, if I know this area as well in the Google, why should I take effort in doing it for Findway.info? Then you have the third, disintermediation. So this is more to direct bypassing the intermediary. So if you have a specific services now directly advertising reaching their own customer directly, then they do not need the platform anymore. So this part is a lot to think about, so that you actually retain, because you can have a important agent or agency group that detach away. That means they just go out and detach away because they do not want to be in the platform. So they go and do a direct deal with the developer. So if you have 3-4 developer coming to your platform, and suddenly the one senior agent detach away from your system and then go and do direct for the developer, then this developer do not see the purpose of using this platform anymore. So this is the threat to the platform's survival. So there are things that we were talking about, the threat, the potential competition forces, the forces that cause this platform to fail. I want to now share the thoughts on the barriers to defend the platform. So I would want to use Findway.info to explain this. This is the important part, so that we are very clear, so that in the process of promoting and growing Findway.info, we can see how this mechanism is to be able to defend. So number one, key barrier to competition is people's profile. In Findway.info, we emphasize on people over product. You are more than what you sell. So this is content specific profile. That means that a person who puts up an advertisement is about his profile. It's not about the product that he is putting. So this means that although the person can actually go away, this profile stays inside the platform. It's actually his profile. He detached away from the platform. That means he is going to lose all this profile. Let me show an example so that you can understand. So this is the way how advertisement is done in FindHui. So you can see the bio of Mr. Lee Ki-chuan, who has put up location of Kota Damansara. So Mr. Lee Ki-chuan's face, his profile appears in FindHui.info, and he has his agency description also as a content in another advertisement, so-called. So now, if this person actually move away from the platform, then his profile will be replaced. That means this particular advertisement, the profile will be taken away. So he will actually subject to significant loss of his marketing channel. That means nobody ever now to see his profile in the advertisement anymore because he has left the platform. So this loss to a person's profile is actually a major loss. His exposure for eyeballs in the aspect of this particular advertisement actually make this as a effort that he has put in to promote this advertisement. So therefore, his profile is important as a driver for him to stay on to the platform. So if he doesn't want to stay on, he want to detach himself from this platform, then all these profiles inside the platform would be profited or taken over by his upline. So we call this profile specific. People created the content and the outlets. Then this profile stays as in the platform for the future goods of the person. So if a person leaves the platform, then his profile would be taken by another person, would be taken by his upline. When the producer switch away from the platform, he loses his profile taken by his upline. That means that this becomes something to hold the person on to the platform instead of the person doing something and eventually expired or eventually is deleted. So in a lot of our current e-commerce website, especially when you are putting product on e-commerce platform, there is an expiry date because the platform wants to make money. So they do not give you the exposure for the eyeballs forever. So they will have a limited time, and after that limited time, your advertisement will be taken down. So if there is a website, a platform that a person can be put up there and it will serve him for his profile for a time limit to a certain extent, that would become a limiting factor for him to consider keeping on activity in the platform. Second is the multi-homing. So we look at multi-homing as in a situation that if you take multi-homing as a payment gateway, for example, you can pay a certain platform by using let's say e-wallet system. At the same time, you also can have a platform that accept payment for credit card. Then the third mode of payment can be online transfer. Even the credit card can have a few types. You can have Master credit card, you can have Visa credit card. Then you also e-wallet also can have a few types. So this means that the platform accepts different players into the system. So this means that there are multi types of way that the person can bring home the things. So this part for FindHui.info is actually the ad business sectors and also the ad sub producers. So we look at FindHui as an aspect that we have ad different geo linkages, and there are in fact ad types of interaction between these geo linkages with the producers who are ad sub categories. So this part I like to just point to you the ad business sectors: property, vehicle, eateries, bakery, shop, medical, business, education, sports and tourism. So it's maybe easier to understand that you can add different platforms into one platform So one platform that contain 8 different channels, multi-homing tool for 8 types of sub-producers. So if you say, well, one type of producer doesn't want this platform, so let's say they said, I don't want to continue with this platform, I want to detach myself, then you have another group of producer who are still there. So it's able to withstand more rejections from the producers. So third is the location. Our defense system for FineHue against the competitor is actually by specific region and geo-link business in this region now. So this part I just highlight to you that because FineHue is a platform for small and medium businesses in the region, so it says that tuition center is linked to a bakery, or a sports center is linked to a restaurant. So after having done your sport activity, you go for a feast at the restaurant. So this is close by. So if it will be difficult to take away all this locational link by all the individual sectors are actually independently on their own. For example, you say, okay, for a group of bakery store in one subcategory, and then the other one is the tuition center in another subcategory, then there is no meaning on this by their own. So there is no linkage, because you need the linkage by location to see the benefit of FineHue. Because FineHue is supposed to solve issues that is locational dependent. So if you are sending your kids to tuition, you wouldn't run very far to get your bakery supply for the following morning. You cannot be driving a few 100 kilometers away to get a bakery just for the tomorrow morning when you are fetching your kids from the tuition center. So this means to say, to come out with another platform that is able to offer the same locational service, it is troublesome to go through that process. So it is a defense mechanism for FineHue to actually work with the different sub-sectors together to fence off competition, especially this envelopment type of competition. Envelopment means that one party take over the other party and become one. Let's say the situation of one Grab company is doing well in one region, and then he envelope and take away the smaller companies in the region. So like Uber is taken over by Grab in Southeast Asia. Number 3, I just say that to summarize, for the location specific, is mapping is location specific because FineHue.info is about mapping. You map your tuition center close by to a bakery store. So it is an organic type of familiarity on the ground. Some of these outlets are not even shown in Google Maps. So therefore, it is a benefit for the users to use FineHue to locate the convenience of moving around in the area. Also, this is an organic on the ground thing, cannot be copied and cannot be duplicated easily. Number 4 is actually the barrier of time and human. So a lot of time we talk about a platform, we talk about just transaction. A lot of time, let's say Shopee, or in the case of even Google, when you look for information, it's actually all machine done. There is no human touch. So this part of defense system is that FineHue.info has human element inside. So time, human, maturity. So example, a tuition center close by to a coffee outlet. So the coffee outlet lady boss would have the connection to the tuition center through the producer who are the agents. Also, some of this relationship over time means that the lady boss of coffee outlets actually has attachment to the tuition center, or attachment to the producer who is a estate agent or a financial planner. So this type of human relationship cannot be copied, cannot be duplicated. So it takes a long time to actually mature. So there is a issue of this unending relationship building on the mapping process. So this means to say Finehui would tag along these types of human-to-human interaction, the building of their relationship, the nurture over time to eventually foster the business relationship between all the outlets. So this part, it is difficult to copy. It is hard also to take over. So if you say that the new company or new platform is to come into the same area, then it has to develop its own relationship. It cannot just use the existing relationship, unless even the new company take over the producers. That the producers may have an issue because the company's culture and packages are different. So it may not be way to take over entirely the imprinted human relationship over time. So my conclusion for this topic on defending your platform is that the platform, we went through the basics, the interaction between the networks and the issue of winner take all. So you need to have a good system so that you can arrive at the winner take all stage. That means you grow your numbers to a certain scale that it becomes a barrier to entry. So the barrier for me, as in the case of Finehui, to defend the threat and the competition would be in a few areas. First is people's profile. We actually more zoom into the people, not the product. People over product. You are more than what you sell. We are also looking at multi-homing aspect, where you have more subgroups in the area of users as well as in the producers. So in this case, under the location, we have different sector of business, different sub producers, and the part of mapping also is location specific and also integrated with human to human relationship. So this part of the soft aspect of building up a relationship is hard to copy online. It's hard to duplicate online. I have my platforms, the e-learning system, which is a website, and the contract to you.com on the left hand side is Inter Property Index ranking for properties. The Finehui info platform is for advertising in the geo linking of businesses. We have also the My Real Property Online blog, which you can see all my videos collected inside. Thank you very much. I'm Thomas Sim, PA2066. This is my mobile number and the URL of my website and platforms. Thank you for coming to my channel.